Hello, my name is Tom, and today we're going to revisit one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, Jake Weddle. I know the last Jake Weddle video wasn't too long ago. Okay, you're probably thinking, oh, I'm milking it, I'm obsessed with Jake Weddle. But let me assure you, this is not just a needless follow-up, okay? The real reason that it seems like Jake and I are star-crossed lovers and our fates are intertwined is because currently Jake's girlfriend, or now ex-girlfriend, has absolutely lost her mind, and apparently it's my fault.
If he does this, he knows, and his friends are not.
I'm just kidding. Like, what are you saving him from? Hi, I'm blackmailing this guy publicly live on stream. I will release these things that I am describing to you.
Last time we talked about Jake, I went over how he got popular by accusing Mr. Beast of basically like workplace abuse, which most of you probably already know. You remember this from the dog pack video. A little bit of extra lore here is that Jake used to work for Mr. Beast, and if you dig through their old React videos, you can actually see videos with Jake still in them. Personally, my favorite one is when Mr. Beast kicks Jake out because he wanted to be in the video, and then Jake calls him, and Jimmy begrudgingly lets him back on.
That idiot actually cut his face with a Coca-Cola.
Yo, I'm getting a phone call
from
Weddle.
Chucky.
I'm coming back.
Time to shine, Weddle. You got this. You're gonna have a great joke for this hack. Oh, it's over.
Hi, it's me, poor Jimmy.
But the most interesting part of the Jake Weddle story the last time we covered it was when his girlfriend, Lex, started showing up a lot more. To put it simply, Lex is a mental illness struggler, okay? She's got a lot going on up top, and she was not having a good time with all the attention that Jake was getting. While Jake and Lex were getting called out for some of their messy accusations against Mr. Beast, Lex was spending her time responding to literally every single comment, every single person criticizing them, even if it had like one like. She was just going off on people, all right? She wanted to correct the record, and she was a Reddit debate lord. At one point, she tried to sneak into the Discord server of one of Jake's biggest critics named Chud Logic, which then turned into this big spectacle basically showing how unhinged she was as she was trying to like impersonate someone else to give him fake information about herself so she could bait him into covering it. On top of that, there were some other speculations, people claiming that they thought that maybe Lex was just using Jake for money. She was a gold digger, in the words of Kanye West. And the reason for that is the reveal of some new information. And that information is that apparently Jake and her started dating right when he got paid by Mr. Beast right as the controversy popped off. But Jake and Lex were not going to take that accusation lying down. No, they were going to respond and let all the haters know that they were unbothered. They did not care about anything going on here, all right? They have their own life, and you internet trolls need to log off.
Why the f would you do this? Why would you post an image like this and be so openly embarrassing and pathetic? Please stop trying to peddle the Weddle. Oh my god. What?
Now, I ended my last video trying to give a little bit of sage wisdom, sage knowledge. I was like Gandalf the Grey mode. And I was basically just telling them, like, you guys need to get off the internet. You know, there's a lot of accusations being thrown out from you, accusations being thrown out from other people, but realistically, endlessly arguing with small commentary channels is not going to benefit your life in the end. And pretty much everybody acknowledges this, everybody knew this, except for them. It's very generic and cringe to say, like, ignore the haters, but in this case, that literally would solve all of their problems instead of, like, figuratively showing Jake's butthole to the public every single day. Like, he's just spreading himself. He's just like, what if you looked inside? What if you saw the deep canal and you entered it and I allowed you to do it? I'd be okay with that. But that is basically what was going on. There are some criticisms and memes and stuff that are worth responding to, but at a certain point, if it's not benefiting you, you just got to get out of there and move on with your life, especially because Jake wasn't really a YouTuber in the traditional sense. He was trying to be a stand-up comedian. Unfortunately for Jake, it seems like he wasn't able to heed my advice because one day after I posted my video on him, he made an Instagram story where he called me out. Go freak yourself. Frankly, YouTube commentary channels that make content calling people crazy, being hyper negative, spreading drama for the sake of clicks can kiss my butt. My face in your title thumbnail calling me crazy, unhinged, what have you. You are exhibiting the psycho behavior. Hey, let it be known. Listen, Jake, my thumbnail may have had you, but it also had a drawing of you that I'm very proud of. And I don't like this insinuation that I'm a psychotic person. I am, but I drew fan art, so you should leave me alone. I'm a good guy. I find it genuinely dystopian to have my face, my lived experiences, and my mental state be used for profit, speculated on, and narrativized. I'll say this again. If you use my face, my trauma, my trauma. The Mr. Beast trauma is over. Mr. Beast personally traumatized me and sent me $4 million after, and I'd let him do it again if he really wanted to. And even if he didn't want to, I would make him against his will. And my mental state for your dog shit content. You're making YouTube a shit place to be, and you are genuinely a bad and stupid person. And if you eat that content up, you also need a psych eval. Frankly, I agree with that. I think anybody who watches my videos is in need of a psych eval. If you don't have a therapist, you should be getting one. If you're not on some kind of medication, you should be on one. But if you can't afford either of those things, there is a fentanyl dealer around the corner. And I've been told he has good prices these days. That's what I've been told. YouTube commentary and drama is literally no better than scummy paparazzi. You're not a journalist, you're a gossip channel. Your commentary is just pointing and laughing at something. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that is true. That is true. Ooh. I just found something in my teeth. Look at that. What is that? What do you think that is? Save that for later. If someone is genuinely crazy, then they need help, not to be mocked. I go to therapy. I take my meds. I take my meds. Take more. And I'm dealing with you dorks harassing me every day. You nerds harass me on a daily basis. And when my mental health is affected by you dorks, you point and go, see, he's lost it. Yes, I would be fine if not for you dorks. Get a life, get a hobby, come up with better video ideas. I'm gonna have to agree with Jake here, guys. I do think that I am known for profiting off the misery of others. It is true. Everyone knows this. And frankly, I will continue doing it for as long as I can. I'm sort of like the Joker, maybe? Like the Joker? Look, I'm like a Joker type guy. Now, some of you may be saying, okay, Tom, he could be talking about anyone. It's not about you, even though he posted it the day after your video came out. But let it be known, this was about me. He further acknowledged this publicly on a live stream on youtube.com.
And, I saw that Turkey Tom made some video. These people's names are so fucking silly. I saw that he made a video.
He's not even a turkey. True.
But I just remember I just posted something I thought was pretty innocuous on my Instagram stories, talking about oh yeah, because it says I've lost it, right? So I thought it was shitty that people make content calling other people's mental health into question. Because in my head, I don't think I've lost it, but now this guy's making a bunch of money claiming I've lost. Well, I don't want to get into the Turkey Tom thing. I don't give a about Turkey Tom. Turkey Tom's fine.
But this Instagram post is pretty much what you would expect from Jake. It's the pretty typical thing for him to post online, and based on that, it seemed like even with everything that had happened, the Jake Weddle drama was maybe finally going to die down. Maybe he would take my advice. But then, one very special night on Christmas Eve, people noticed that something strange was going on, but it wasn't on YouTube. It wasn't on Discord. It wasn't on Reddit. It wasn't on Instagram. It wasn't even on 4chan, okay? It was actually on SoundCloud. A new track, a new song, a new mix started popping off. It started hitting the charts. It started being played everywhere, okay? New Year's Eve, Christmas celebration in New York City. Everyone's listening to this song. They're thinking, what is this? Who made this? And as it turns out, Lex, Jake's girlfriend, had made a song where she included a sample of Jake and her arguing in the song.
You don't care about my feelings, do you?
No! I actually like it. Why do I actually like the song? Now, obviously, the first reaction to this were a lot of record companies trying to get Lex to sign a deal, but the real development from the smaller side of things, from the commentary community, was, what's going on here? Did they break up? Was this some kind of consensual sampling of them arguing? Or, in fact, was there trouble in paradise? Trouble between Lex Weddle and Jake Weddle? The full song with his lyrics alluded to a lot of things that seemed applicable to their relationship from what we knew, such as the mention of Lex getting Jake a lawyer, the mention of kicking someone out of the house, whoever it may have been at the time, we didn't know, as well as the idea of posting to social media in order to garner sympathy. And making a song about your ex-partner within days of you guys breaking up, or hours even in this case, is obviously really insane, but at the same time, it's a good song. I like it. I mean, sure, it's a morally gray area that they sort of had this beef, and I think that this is a very shitty thing to do to someone, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that Lex can't make a fire beat, a fire track. It doesn't mean she can't spit some bars. Oh my god. Oh! But at the time, nothing had really been confirmed. We still didn't really know what was going on. We were from the outside looking in, all right? But Jake would then start posting on his Instagram story, as he tends to do, and they were rather sad. They were rather distraught. They were rather depressive, and people started to say, what's going on here, Jake? Are you okay? Are you okay? I even personally emailed him 10 times. I said, Jake, please fly to my house and be with me. Glad I posted what I did yesterday. Everyone who needed to show me their true colors did. My DMs were flooded with support. Thank you to the real ones who were here throughout throughout all of it, not just when it's fun and convenient. Made it home just in time for Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope everyone gets to spend their holiday with the people they care about and the people who care about them. So all of a sudden, he's home for Christmas. Before this point, he was apparently staying with Lex at her location, at her abode, at her humble fortress of solitude and mental illness, but now he's home for the holidays? What's going on here? You're choosing your family over your split dye-haired, septum-piercing girlfriend. What's going on, Jake? Are you okay? I don't know if anyone has ever cried while wearing a sleep mask, but it's kind of like waterboarding yourself, and no one else on the plane likes it. That's what Mr. Beast did to me. Now, this obviously had people asking, like, what the freak is going on, baby boy, okay? What's going on with my boy Top J? J's up for Jake. But all was quiet on the Eastern Front until finally someone broke the lines, and that someone was Lex Weddle. You see, she went on a small creator's live stream, and on this live stream, she decided to talk about a little bit of what happened, and she made a serious accusation, okay? She said that they had broken up, and not only that, she alluded to some kind of verbal abuse. Uh-oh. Might even be a little gaslighting involved. You never know.
Lex, can you power scale Morale and Jake on their verbal abuse?
Rank on a scale of 1 to 10. How'd you rate Jake?
Rate the yelling?
The verbal abuse. Rank it on a scale of 1 to 10.
We're gonna need a scale bigger than 10.
But that was all the info we had for the time being. And it's at this point that I have to introduce a new character to our story. And that character is Aiden. Now, Aiden, or Aiden Projects, or Trans Brittany Simon, as many know him, is actually a creator that I've known for a while. You see, back in the day, when I was 14 years old, and Aiden was 12, before we had been flown to Epstein Island to hang out with Bill Clinton, both of us were actually small commentary creators ourselves. We were making videos. But Aiden really had no audience. He had like 150 subscribers at the time. He wasn't a very popular guy until he decided to make waves in the commentary community with a guy named Chubbs. Now, Chubbs was a commentary creator with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. He had a very large channel. He was known for making a lot of videos about like BuzzFeed cringe and SJW cringe, but his most popular series was If YouTubers Were Honest, where he would kind of like loosely parody a YouTuber and be like, if PewDiePie was honest, he would say that he was extremely racist. He didn't actually say that, but you know, you get the idea. He would just like kind of make like these weird parody videos. They were very popular. So Aiden got in contact with Chubbs. He said, hey, I'm a great editor. I'm good at editing. I'm going to help you out. And so Chubbs was like, sure, I'll let you edit for me. But after the point in time in which Aiden Projects had edited for Chubbs, Chubbs decided to not pay him. Dun, dun, dun. And this eventually got the story covered on Drama Alert by DJ Killer Heemstar, who decided to expose Chubbs and promote Aiden Projects. And in the most clear example ever of the Drama Alert effect, Aiden got 150,000 subscribers. He then went on a few years later, I believe when he was 14 or 15, to start posting reaction commentary videos where he reacted to various cringe TV shows and lolcow type stuff in that realm. And from there, when he was like 14, he got 800,000 subscribers. And so you see, Aiden is a bit of a legendary figure in the commentary community. He's a bit of a legendary guy. He's had a lot of different eras of content, but recently he came back and he's been live streaming. And through this venue of live streaming, Aiden would end up getting interested in the story of Jake Weddle. He wanted to be his friend even, but he had one problem. Jake Weddle was dating Lex. Therefore, he could not talk about Lex. But now that they were broken up, Jake decided to come on his stream for an interview that would change the game forever. Now, Aiden started this interview with Jake, and it all seemed like it was going great until, mysteriously, Jake would start cutting out. You wouldn't be able to hear his audio. At first, people thought it was a problem on Aiden's end or something. They thought there were some technical difficulties. Something went horribly wrong here with their ISP. Okay, maybe YouTube was throttling them, trying to censor Jake Weddle from exposing Lex Weddle. But things started to get a lot stranger as they realized what was actually going on.
I'll just set up virtual store.
Is it already going? Are we on?
Yeah, we're on. They can hear you. They can hear you.
Gotcha. Hey, hello. It's so funny when you can't see stream. I'm sure there'd be.
Yeah, that's not me. I didn't do that. It's actually black screen.
Oh, did he cut out?
Uh-oh. Chat, he cut
Did I
out.
lose you? Did I do it? Are we back? What's going on?
Yeah, we're back. Hold on. I'm just turning on my
Okay. No worries.
All right. How about we go? I'm just setting up my webcam. I didn't know we were gonna do face, so I wanted to
and now
I
we're
didn't get
going
that
through
part set
Aiden's
up.
streamer mode settings live on
sorry.
camera.
I can
and he keeps getting disconnected, and people are like, why is he getting disconnected right now?
turn it off.
No, all good.
You see, at first, a lot of people assumed that Jake was trying to duck the interview, or even that he was trying to troll Aiden. But eventually, a few people in the live stream chat started claiming that Jake was actually being hacked live on the air to prevent him from telling the story. People were trying to message Jake's Discord account at the time, only to be instantly blocked.
I think someone is hacking him. Dude, he's being hacked?
I think so. He was literally calling me.
Yeah, and then it cuts out and he blocks out of nowhere, and then it's like shit's up. It looks like his account's like deleted or something, because like it didn't even show him leave the group.
Yes, he was literally typing to me, and then he blocked me somehow. I think someone's on his account.
Because it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense that he would just block out of nowhere.
Yeah, someone's probably has his Discord. I don't know who. I don't want to accuse nobody.
So the mysterious hacker known as 4chan has been trying to censor Jake Weddle. Eventually, they just give up on Discord entirely. Aiden calls him on his personal phone number. And at that point in time, Jake claims that Lex is logged into all of his accounts and is trying to prevent him from giving this interview. The identity of the hacker known as 4chan has finally been revealed after 15 years, and it is in fact Lex Weddle. Now, I do think that Jake probably could have had the foresight to think like, hey, maybe I should log this girl I just broke up with out of all my accounts that she's logged into, because it's kind of a bad idea, especially if she's already making songs about him sampling their arguments.
I just want to make sure the stream can hear you. Do you mind just saying something?
Yeah, testing 1 2, testing. What the is going on? Holy shit!
Is it all good, stream? Can you hear him?
Yeah, dude. I guess I do got to reset all my passwords.
More of a Wagner Group
was
fan
texting
myself.
me right now I'm not gonna say where because I don't know where Lex is logged into all my accounts. What the f is going on?
But at long last, Jake finally went into detail about why they broke up and what exactly went down. According to Jake, he decided to end things with Lex because she had immersed herself in YouTube drama too much, stirring up conflicts with various people like Chud Logic or Hellbent, and placing herself really in the heart of the controversy in a way that she didn't need to be. Instead of spending her time, I don't know, getting a job, she was instead spending her time on Discord for no benefit and no money and really nothing, trying to like troll people for no reason. But apparently, on the other hand, Lex also had a problem with how Jake was going about handling the drama. And so when he shared his thoughts on myself and commentary channels at large on Instagram, Lex felt that that reflected on her poorly, and she asked him to remove the post, which only made the situation much worse.
Lex was like, hey, Hellbent, hey, she's calling out people by name specifically, and I remember I had a panic attack that night too, because I'm like, oh my god, she's literally asking for it. She's like bringing it on purpose, you know? And so when I posted that Instagram story, she said, take that Instagram story down. And I was like, what? Why?
Now, to be fair to Mrs. Weddle here, it is fair that someone would want Jake to take down these Instagram stories because, frankly, they were embarrassing and they do reflect poorly on everyone. But the problem is that it's pretty hypocritical because just weeks prior, she was doing the same exact thing, if not worse, and making Jake look much worse by extension. She literally made an entire commentary video about everybody that was talking about her and then threatened to sue anyone who made fun of her. So from Jake's perspective, it was pretty hypocritical for her to want him to take down his Instagram story. Meanwhile, she had been behaving in the way she had been for weeks and he had never given her pushback. Jake then goes into detail about how he started crying and he started packing up his things and putting stuff in boxes, to which Lex said she was going to call the police. And then apparently she actually did call the police on him for some reason.
So I'm packing my stuff and I'm crying. You guys know me, I'm crying. And she says, better hurry because I'm going to call the police, you know? And I'm like, I'm packing, you know? Like I'm looking for my camera, putting my stuff together. And then the police were there.
So the cops arrive. We don't know exactly what Lex told them, but obviously if they're going to this relatively amicable breakup situation, at least from Jake's perspective, they get there and then they find out that nothing that crazy is going on. They're going to be a little bit confused. And apparently she even lied to the police that were directly there, claiming that she was being texted by Jake at the same time that Jake was outside talking to the other officers, meaning that Jake could not have been texting her at the same time. And the cops apparently knew this.
I heard the police in the room that she was in say, he's literally texting me right now. And I'm outside talking to the cops, and the other officer goes, ma'am, he's outside talking to the other officer, and his phone's right there.
A little bit of a funny side note here, but if you actually listen to the lyrics in Lex's song, it pretty much describes this exact situation when she talks about not starting a fire in someone's house and then being surprised when they kick you out. Jake also tries to explain what happened with Hellbent, which was the YouTuber that he threatened to sue for infiltrating his Patreon and getting audio recordings of him talking about Mr. Beast. Basically, Hellbent went in there to mess around to get some kind of dirt on him to make a big drama video about it. And then after that point in time, there was like implications of legal action threatened against Hellbent. There were implications of legal action threatened against Tweeman, who had basically leaked Jake's stand-up recording. But according to him, Lex was the mastermind behind all of this, and she was even the one who convinced him to hire a lawyer to try to sue Hellbent and Mr. Beast.
I feel like Lex is breaking crimes right now, but I guess I'll talk to my lawyer as soon as I can. Thanks, Lex, for making sure I got a lawyer.
So she suggested she was the one that suggested you take legal action against Hellbent, and she suggested you take legal action against Mr. Beast.
Behind the scenes, we were like trying to. I shouldn't be speaking about this publicly.
And interestingly enough, at this point in time, at least, Jake seems to agree with the speculation that Lex got with him after the Mr. Beast controversy happened for some kind of monetary gain or clout. And obviously, this is just his perspective, and we're going to get to how Lex feels pretty soon, but this is just his perspective. But a lot of people did see this as a reasonable assumption. And the reason they feel that way is because of how aggressive Lex had shown herself to be inside of the commentary community.
But hey, I'm a gullible person. I get tricked very easily by pretty women. I'm pretty sure she jumped into my life to thrust herself into the Mr. Beast stuff.
I will say, however, even if Lex was like trying to get Jake to be more litigious and fire back against these people, she was doing all these weird Discord operations, right? At the end of the day, Jake Weddle is not like 10 years old, at least I don't think so. He's a fully grown man. He's like 25 or something. So realistically, he should have the full wherewithal to push back against whatever she's doing that he doesn't like. Lex can't literally brain control him. She doesn't have the zappy wand that can make him do whatever she wants, okay? At the end of the day, this is still somewhat on him for letting her control his life like he did, apparently. And he does kind of acknowledge this, but it is a little bit wishy-washy. He doesn't take full responsibility and accountability for the allegation.
So obviously, like, this isn't entirely on her, right? You have agency, as an adult.
Oh, sure, yeah. I did back up Lex on that publicly because she's my partner. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So a lot of this bad shit the ideas that she had initiated, you had instead of doing anything about, you had supported it.
I was under the Lex influence, yes.
Okay. So there is a level. I'm just clarifying everybody. I'm not saying
Sure.
There's no level of responsibility on Jacob. There obviously is.
I was backing up my partner, and that's on me. Whoopsie daisies.
Jake also reveals a new piece of information, which is that apparently Lex had been running around on Reddit and faking screenshots. You see, apparently she faked screenshots on the r/YouTube drama subreddit to pretend that a mod had messaged her to warn her about a video from Hellbent that was violating her copyright or something. And if you look at this, it really is a perfect showcase of how deep Lex was willing to go in order to manipulate the drama between other people. Lex Weddle really thinks that she is the puppet master in these situations. The cool kids would refer to her behavior as gay ops.
The YT drama mod on the Reddit, the fake one, that was her, right?
Thank you for the dono.
Yes. When the YouTube drama moderators cleared her and said, okay, she was that wasn't a real mod, that was a fake person, and Lex got duped, everybody. And so she's not malicious. She got duped. No, she did in fact fake that. That was in fact her messaging herself.
But even outside of manipulating the public, Jake claims that he was also being manipulated. You remember those recordings from that song, the one of Jake being like, "You don't care about me, I'm breaking up with you." He claims that Lex had been blackmailing him with those recordings and threatening to leak them to the public.
I've been terrified because Lex has been threatening me with these recordings behind the scenes. She said, "I'm not gonna ruin your career, don't worry. But I do have these recordings for my protection."
Keep in mind, this was a very long stream, so there are a lot of repeating things and tangents in this interview, but the juicy stuff you need to know is really that they had broken up. Lex was apparently leaking recordings of him in a song. Lex had been trying to manipulate the entire drama sphere of YouTube in her favor by directly lying, faking screenshots, stuff like that. And not only that, she was apparently, at least according to him, logged into his accounts and trying to prevent him from doing this interview, to prevent him from speaking the truth to power and becoming a true red-pilled American patriot. She did not want him to become a based groiper. She did not. But the interesting thing about this is that this is not the only live stream in the situation. It's not even the only live stream that had been going on at the same exact time. Because the entire time that Jake was doing this interview with Aiden, Lex was on a separate live stream doing another interview telling her side of the story. So you have this breakup happening, and these people are simultaneously on different live streams shitting on each other. It is absolutely insane. And it's only going to get crazier from here. This video is sponsored by GamerSupps, the best energy drink that money can buy. It tastes great. It's got a lot of fun and cool and zany and awesome flavors. I personally have been drinking a lot of Crusaderade lately. This is Swagger Souls' flavor. And I've also been drinking this one called Kissy Kissy Passion, which, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like what's on it, but it does taste good, so I drink it. It's also a lot cheaper, a lot more affordable than other energy drinks, and YouTubers are selling it, so what could possibly go wrong? So go to gamersupps.gg/Tom to get 10% off your your order today. And a special thanks to GamerSupps for sponsoring my videos where I talk about weird shit and act embarrassing. All right, now back to the video. Now, right off the bat, Lex hops on the call, and you can already tell that something strange is going on. She's got this anime profile picture. She's speaking in a very kind of like sultry, depressive tone. It's sort of a classic BPD-ism for those who know. And it's kind of interesting to see that Lex is like flirting with the interviewer, Morale, right off the bat. She's using a soft tone of voice. She's throwing out some very oddball statements. Keep in mind, she just broke up with Jake.
Hi, Morale.
No! The voice! The voice! Hi, Morale. And Lex then starts off talking about this supposed recording that she'll be forced to leak if Jake keeps making claims about her. And it's pretty confusing because I'm pretty sure she already released a bunch of the recording in the song and nobody forced her to do that. She did that before anyone even asked her to, or before Jake had even said anything about her publicly. But we're not very deep yet, okay? Maybe she has a super secret recording we don't know about that's going to really change the game here.
I want to leak the whole recording, obviously. I want to show it off. I want to make it public.
Not.
But, you know, ultimately, it's up to you. It's your recording, all right?
Let's not do that unless I do have to defend myself. But I'm hoping that he is gonna be rational and realize the situation, because he was there.
If Jake does come on the stream, we are watching it, or I am watching it. You don't have to stay, but I am switching to watching the Jake interview if he does eventually come on. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna leave because I can't watch him do that to himself.
It's so funny that she says she wants to leave the live stream if the video of Jake talking about her gets pulled up, because she just can't watch him do this to himself, all right? She's trying to protect him. Even though she had just released a song with his freakouts and part of the recording publicly, talking about the relationship and basically calling him a beta male. Now, Lex then abruptly leaves without any real explanation, but she does rejoin. And at this point in time, Jake had been saying a lot of things about her, supposedly accessing his accounts, like on Discord, accessing his email even, and he was, you know, spewing a lot of claims about her and how crazy she was. And she came back on and she seemed a little bit frazzled. She seemed like she felt the need to respond to the allegations.
Yeah, I'm trying to save Jake from himself right now, because if he does speak up, my hand is forced.
You're trying to save Jake from himself from doing what?
I don't want him to force my hand for us to release those recordings, because I'm gonna have to if he says some shit. And it's not like I sent you the photo of the dent that he left in my wall. Like, if he does this, he knows, and his friends are not okay with it. Like, his in real life friends are trying to be like, dude, like, this is not okay.
Ah, yes. I understand that. I too would have wanted to save Jake Weddle from himself by blackmailing him with recordings of him crying. But the biggest claim she makes here is that apparently Jake had dented the wall by throwing a phone at it out of anger. I guess this is supposed to show that he threw a phone at a wall out of anger and like it made this hole, but I also don't think that Jake Weddle is like, you know, a real slugger, a real Major League Baseball pro capable of denting a wall by throwing a phone at it. No matter how hard he tries. No offense, Jake, I just don't see it happening. Not that I could do it, I just don't see it happening. And on top of that, I also have to bring up the fact that Jake Weddle is a creature of love, not destruction. And based on the messages we've had recently, me and him, which have gotten rather saucy, and I am blackmailing him with them currently, all I can say is that he's a lover. He's not a hater. But this wall dent is not the only thing that Lex has, okay? It gets a little bit more extreme. She further explains that there is a full 12-minute recording of something going on, okay? Something that she might have to leak if he keeps going. And not only that, but this is not drama, okay? This is not drama. Lex is not talking about him for drama. She is blackmailing him and shit-talking him on a live stream out of concern for him.
Like, we're trying to care for him.
You're trying to care for him.
I don't want to I'm going to have to defend myself. I was not going to release those full recordings, the full 12-minute recording of him yelling at me. Like, I don't want to release that.
Okay.
But I'm gonna have to if he does this. Like, I'm trying to help him.
And when pressed as to what exactly he did to her, Lex doesn't really explicitly say what happened. She just kind of implies that something bad happened, that he was abusive in some way.
It must be pretty severe.
Guy. I'm scared of this guy. I'm going to have to release the recordings if he says
What are you scared of him for?
Because of how he treated me.
What did he do?
I don't want to go further into it unless he fucking does.
And at this point in time, we get to the claim of Lex logging into Jake's accounts to prevent him from doing interviews. To which Lex kind of dances around the question. She doesn't really want to answer it. She's being very weird and evasive. She does eventually admit that she was apparently logged into his Discord on her browser, on her computer, which I don't really know why he's logged in on Discord on his girlfriend's computer. Keep in mind here, they dated for 3 months. They didn't date for like years. They dated for 3 fucking months, and apparently he's given her access to every account he's ever had. She probably has access to his bank. Like, why? But when she was asked if she had reset his account password or something like that, she says no at first. She says, no, I didn't do that. But then she makes a shocking discovery. She actually had access to his email that is linked to his Discord account the entire time. And the reason that she had done this is because she realized that in the screenshot she had sent to Mrau when he was interviewing her, it showed that she was logged into Jake's Gmail, so she couldn't just lie anymore. She had to admit it.
The email associated with the Discord, you don't have access to that. You would not be able, like, would you be able to reset the password if you wanted to?
Oh my God. He's logged in on his email. Oh my God. Get me out of this, dude. When we broke up, he was supposed to, like, delete me from all those things. Like, he's supposed to know to remove me from all of those things. Like, you can log out of other devices on other things. I told him to do that when we broke up. Dude, that's why I had to do all his tech stuff for him, because he doesn't know.
Are you logged into his Gmail?
I just closed the browser. I just saw that it was open. I just closed the browser.
So you were logged into his email?
I did not know that it was open. I would not lie. Listen, I'm in a place where I would not fool myself by lying right now.
After trying to evasively not answer the question for a few minutes and kind of dance around it again, Lex finally gets confronted with another piece of information, which is that in one of the screenshots she had sent in one of the tabs, you can actually see a password reset among one of the tabs, pretty much confirming that she indeed was the one that was resetting his password.
In one of your tabs, there was a password reset for a Gmail.
Yeah, I'm logged in like on 3 different Gmails, by the way, because I have my business account and my other
So
stuff.
were you trying to reset Jake's password for Discord?
God, no. That would be f***ing stupid. It's tied to his phone number. That would have been a lot easier than
What email were you trying to password reset on then?
One of my other accounts, because I was like changing everything, like my business account. I'd change my passwords every once in a while.
Okay.
Maybe it was the Riot password reset email thing.
Okay.
Obviously, this is not 100% in a court of law, but I would say that the probability of her being the one to reset the account is probably much higher than her not being the one to do it. Now, eventually, she gets pressed on this a little bit more. It's like, okay, so you clearly were the one that reset the account, right? But no, she actually has some new groundbreaking proof that it was not her. She is not the hacker known as 4chan. She is not the hacker known as Anonymous, Lizard Squad, Poodle Corp. She's not any of them, okay? She eventually shared a new screenshot, which showed a password reset for December 18th, which was days before this stream was going on, about a week prior. So therefore, it couldn't have been her. But people quickly noticed that this screenshot was extremely cropped, and this could have even been for her Discord. So who even knows what this is about, right? This is not proof of anything. But at that point, she's like, look, you know, I don't need anyone to believe me, okay? I was just trying to prove it to you, Morale, on the live stream, but I don't need anyone to believe me, okay? If you don't believe me, frankly, that's your problem. I don't need to impress the YouTube drama community. Keep in mind, she had been trying to do that and manipulate them for weeks at that point.
I don't have anything to go off of to prove that you didn't.
That's fine, dude. I know that I did it. I don't need you to believe me.
Then why did you send me the screenshot? If you don't need me to believe you. You want me to believe you. That is what this is. You want me to believe you.
Oh my God. Bro. I will show it to you privately when we're not on live and we can
I'm not
the
gonna
air on that.
I'll turn Chrome off. I'll literally look, there's background gameplay.
She's got PTSD or whatever. Post-traumatic Down syndrome. No, it's not. She ain't got Down syndrome. I'm tripping.
And it's at this point in the stream when Lex seemingly starts getting a little bit more desperate. She wants to have something to own Jake with, so she starts leaking screenshots of him talking to her. What is wrong with you? I love you. What did I do to you? This is so heartbreaking. Why would you do this? I've been crying all freaking day. Since yesterday, I haven't slept. Why? Please stop. Why? And obviously this DM is not like Jake being abusive. It's just kind of him being sad. The worst you can say about it is that it's like kind of pathetic, but at the end of the day, this is like just a cringe relationship DM. It's not that insane. insane. It's just guy breaks up with a girl, guy is sad about it and messages her like, why would you do this to me? Which frankly, it's Jake Weddle. What would you expect? This is exactly the kind of way I would expect him to message a girl. It's fine. But when that wasn't enough, Lex felt she needed to leak something else. And so she decided to send Morale a recording that is supposedly proving Jake's abuse and how bad Jake Weddle truly is. The deep, dark depths of an insane super criminal's mind. And we got to listen to it in its full glory.
Tell me how you care about my feelings. Because if you're saying I don't care about your feelings, and then you kick me out, do you understand why that's hypocritical? Does that make sense? You don't care about my feelings, do you? You insist I care about yours to the degree that I take down an Instagram story, or you kick me out of your home. Do I need to say that again? How wild that is? Because I don't care about you don't care about mine. If you're gonna kick me out of your house over that, you don't care about mine. Do I need to say that again?
And I don't even know why she leaked this, because it's nothing. It's literally just him being like, I'm breaking up with you, you suck. Like that's literally it. That's literally it. There's nothing here. There is nothing groundbreaking, as much as I wanted there to be, because it would make the video more interesting. Frankly, there's nothing. Jake Weddle, as far as I can tell, is f***ing innocent. Okay, he literally did nothing. As far as I've seen in this relationship, I have no proof that he threw a phone at the wall. And from this recording, it's literally just him having like a normal conversation at a slightly higher register than you would expect from him. He's like a little bit peeved, a little bit angry. But supposedly this recording, that if anything to me paints him in a more sympathetic light, because yeah, getting kicked out over an Instagram story, especially given the stuff that Lex Weddle had been doing, is crazy. But like, there's literally nothing here. There's literally nothing in this recording. I cannot overstate how much of a nothing burger this was, and it's shocking to me that she claimed this was some groundbreaking thing that was gonna like end him. And you know, at the end of the day, after getting to the end of the Jake Weddle saga, I assume this is the end anyway. While Jake Weddle may be kind of a dummy, it's not hard to feel bad for him. Both of these interviews are hearsay, so at the end of the day, there's not a lot of evidence to prove either side, so it's kind of hard to come to any real definitive conclusions. But after listening to it, my assessment of the situation is that Jake really wears his heart on his sleeve, usually to a fault. Like, he will say anything. He will admit any embarrassing detail about himself. You cannot stop him from doing that. Trying to stop Jake Weddle from saying something embarrassing is like trying to stop the rain from coming down, okay? Like, you cannot do it. You cannot do it. He's going to do it, and you're going to listen. Meanwhile, Lex really danced around any claim he made. She didn't really provide any good evidence either way. And the one thing she did try to prove, that he was some kind of emotional, verbally abusive, master manipulator, master of puppets type guy, male manipulator. When she tried to prove that, she literally had nothing. I mean, she literally made a SoundCloud song about the breakup, the day that they broke up. Jake had a problem with it, and she then threatened to leak more information about him, claiming that he was abusive when he wasn't. And at the same time, she was claiming to do all of this in the interest of his mental health, to help him. I think that Lex is clearly an insane person. She needs some help. She needs to be thrown in the loony bin, or someone from my audience needs to start dating her right now, because it might be crazy. I mean, it is crazy, but it might be crazy, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm just saying. Now, Jake Weddle did leave a comment actually on my live stream channel. I can't find it anymore. I don't know if he deleted it or something, or if YouTube punished him from commenting on the video, but he basically said like, yeah, I was acting dumb. Hope you understand now. I was going through some stuff. And you know what? After looking at this entire situation, he definitely was going through some stuff. I don't think that like absolves some of any criticism that was made against him. I don't think that means that all of a sudden he was actually good at handling this entire controversy with Mr. Beast and then this now. But at the end of the day, I do feel a little bad for him, just because of how crazy Lex was. You know, by comparison, it's like Jake is like this beautiful little angel. Okay, he's like this beautiful little angel. He's like the drawings of the babies with like the halos and the angel wings. He's like flying up to the heavens, and then Lex is like crawling out of hell to pull him back down. I think in this situation, the best solution for everybody would just be to log off permanently. And with that being said, I'm gonna log off myself. But thank you all for watching today's video, and I'll see you all tomorrow when I stick gamer subs up my butt again. Code Tom. Goodbye.